the banking lobbyists have convened together 3 weeks ago with the CEOs of the largest banks in the world and said, we will not allow them to take $7 trillion out of our bank. This is why blockchain came to existence. This is why Bitcoin came in to destroy this nonsense. It's slavery, man. This borrowing and debt, and it's unbelievable, man. I realized all of that is not worth anything if I am not there for my children and having a relationship with my son. And I will tell you, 12 years later, right? Because he was 5, he's 17 now, almost 13 years later, I do not regret it 1 second. I may have missed out on making a boatload of money. I may have missed out on just seeing craziness and meeting some extraordinary people. It is not worth giving up that relationship that I have with my children. And that's going to affect their children and my grandchildren. And I know I can change things generationally by changing myself. Welcome everybody to another live trading episode with CryptoCrush.
Sir,
I'm one of your hosts, chief entertainer. My name is Steve, and with me is Amir Isaacs out of Tel Aviv. How was the bombing yesterday evening?
it's very exhausting, but we're having fun.
I would already set up like a bookie. I'd be like, okay, how many sirens are we going to get tonight? And then I would say,
you have that, brother. You're
I would
late.
say, how many missiles are going to be launched per night?
You're late. It's poly market, baby. Poly market. Go to that poly market. You can put your bet when the war ends. What's going to be the results? It's a full bookie, man. It's a full, for real. There are websites online that do that.
Yeah, we're not supporting those websites, but we're trying to trying to bring light to a very serious situation. Speaking of very serious situation, look at this. This, friends, is the CryptoCrush Trading Journal.
Yes, which
Build
we've been
discipline,
looking
track
forward.
performance, master your edge. You know what it doesn't say? It doesn't say make money fast, quick, learn how to get rich. It says build discipline, track performance, and master your edge. Because, friends, if you build discipline, track your performance, master your edge, and exhibit self-control, right, and implement these habits that we're talking about, you will automatically perform well trading. So this is what we got. Is it available for you? No. But I'll tell you what, like and subscribe. This is what it looks like in here. Morning routine, evening routine, trading activity.
And we're going to post our trackings of the calls on our VIP Telegram channel as well, and in our WhatsApp groups, where we're going to be showing you what we like. If you're missing out and you like reading better than watching, it's perfectly fine. You're going to be able to read what we're doing live on these journals every day, day by day.
I love it for a couple other reasons. One, if you're not tracking what you're doing, then you're gambling. I would say, 100%. Right? So definitely. One of the things that we're putting in here, this is not the final version yet, but what you see is we have a lot of great quotes from people we respect in the industry.
People that we learn from.
People that we learn from, they're entrepreneurs. So this one, cut your losses short, let your winners run. That's what we always say about swing trades. Have a tight stop loss, and if it runs, let it run, man. Let it run. We're also going to implement in here Beltrixa, so you can see how much you're earning per week. We're going to implement WeFi. We're going to put in as well the arbitrage trading, so you can see what coins you have and what you're earning per day with links. If it's a digital version, it'll be a link. So this is really exciting. Amir did this himself. Thank you, brother. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. No, you cannot hire him. Don't text him and say, hey, can you design my book? Don't do that. I will throw you out of the community.
Nah.
Don't do that. Now, we want to talk about what's going on in the markets. And markets open up in approximately 17 minutes. I want to bring up a couple of things that are going on. And one is that there is a absolute war happening between the banks and crypto, and specifically the Clarity Act. So just to bring this is very, very important because I'm seeing a manifestation on the ground of this war playing out. So let me give you a 30,000 foot view, then we'll go to a deep dive. So 30,000 foot view is Donald Trump said, we want to make the United States the capital of crypto. We want to be in the forefront. Starts the Genius Act, then he creates the Clarity Act. The Clarity Act has passed Congress, is going into the Senate, and the banking lobbyists have convened together 3 weeks ago with the CEOs of the largest banks in the world and said, we will not allow them to take $7 trillion out of our bank.
Who was that guy that said it? What was his role? I forgot. The guy that was saying that.
You got to go into our videos. If you go into I should have gotten that before we came on, but
it's also on our social medias, on the shorts section. Also on YouTube, there's shorts. If you're impatient, you need it in 1 minute, we cut it down for you for 1 minute and 2 minute shorts, where we take the highlights and we post them in the shorts. So make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Oh, by the way, if you're going to do that, then you will see our history of how we are positioning ourselves in the markets, and so everything is transparent here with us. But
bull market is coming.
Let me get back to my point, and the point is that they made this declaration because the thing that's scary is stable coins, which now have to have a 1-to-1 ratio, and your bank doesn't. It has to have a 1-to-10 ratio. That means for every dollar you have, or for every $10 you have, they only need to have $1 in liquidity. Whereas stable coins, for every dollar you have, they have to have $1 in liquidity, right? And
remember, that's what they tell you with blockchain.
No, it is a law. But hold on, this is a law. This is a law. This is important, right? This has gone through. This is a law. And now the issue is the stable coin people, where you can get these stable coins on these exchanges, they are offering 4% just to hold a stable coin like USDT or USDC, which is equivalent to $1. The reserve is $1, 1 USDT, right? So it's 100% liquidity, and they're paying 4%. The bank, on the other hand, is holding a 10% liquidity, and they're offering 0.5% per year. So the banks are like, this is going to bankrupt us. Let me show you what it says. I'll
tell you, even on the debit card, apps, like for example, I'm using, everyone has their own apps. We're probably going to use the CryptoCrush or something. But Redot, for example, that's a debit card company that I'm using. They offer you, just to have your USDT with them, they offer you, look at this, they offer you about 4%. They offer 4% just to yield, just to earn with them. So that's a debit card company. That's not even an exchange yet.
No, but okay, so if you're someone who has, let's say, $100,000, right? You got $100,000 in savings.
Check this out: 4% on USDC and 3% on USDT, and this is a debit card company. It's not an exchange,
right? And so an exchange which is having USDT, or stable coins, it's having 1-to-1 liquidity. So if you have $100,000 in your savings and you're earning 0.5% per year, and you can move that $100,000 over to something that's safer, that has more liquidity, that has more guarantee, and you can earn 8.
And you can see it on the blockchain. You don't need to trust some law that some government put out there.
No, the banks. I have so many horrible bank stores. They just
so it's a law. Okay.
They make numbers up. Like I've been in banks where I said, "Hey, this doesn't match." And the teller on the other end just added a 0 for me. Does that look right? I'm like, okay, like it's insane. You can't do that here. So let me get back to this. We have to understand this, that it's now that this stability, the Clarity Act, is allowing people to move their savings with safety and protection, earning 4%. Why wouldn't you do it? So I want to go down here because they're making a little revisions here But I want to take a look. What is the? I want to show you what it says here. I ran this through Grok, Super Grok. It remains stalled in the Senate. Negotiations have focused on compromises, particularly around stablecoin yield rewards.
They're gonna have to find some compromise, and this is like negotiation.
Now this is scary because I'll tell you where this goes.
It sounds like a war, bro. This sounds. If I just take this piece, it sounds like negotiations. Well, isn't that what Trump is doing with Iran? Negotiations. They're trying to find peace.
What this does is, it's a real problem for the banks, and the reason it's a big problem is because there's flight of capital, and they're just not going to allow it. And so let me give you real world examples here in the Netherlands, not just America, but 10 days after they declared that we're not going to let the money go to crypto, the Netherlands government said you can no longer transfer your money from your bank to the following exchanges, and they listed these exchanges 10 days after that declaration. So not only that, but because of what we do in CryptoCrush, a lot of times our members bring us in and they say, can you help me do this? I don't want to make a mistake. So we get on Zoom calls, we talk them through, we walk them through, and the horror, the pressure that these banks put on people, not allowing them to.
And then it makes you look like the bad guy.
They do, and then or sometimes
this guy online is making you do what?
What they do now is that they'll do a fake out. So they say, oh yeah, we'll do it, and they send it out, and then 3 days later it comes back to your account. You're like, what happened? And they say, oh yeah, I got flagged for whatever I got flagged for.
And again, we're saying that all the time. We're not against security. There are people there that are so helpless when it comes to these money things that they need the security from the banking systems and all these things. They really need it because they have no clue about their finances, which is very sad because
but there's a difference between security and control.
Exactly.
This is control, right? It's kind of my issue with how the whole COVID thing went. One is safe, the other one is control. Yeah. And at the end of the day, we are born free. That is our God-given right. We are free men and women, right? And so
this is where you got to understand money as well. This is part of the reasons, like, people sometimes don't have the means to move a school or to move a town or to move a city. And if someone doesn't want to move, that's perfectly fine. I get it. We're Israelis. We don't want to move from here, right? But if there's a certain narrative in your city or in you have this idea of moving, and the reason that you're not moving is because you don't have enough money, when you know that there's communities out there like CryptoCrush that offer stuff like ARPCore and live trading and all these things, then you should definitely take advantage of this and let people know around you about this community, because this piece of information might just look like a normal piece of information to you, but for someone out there, man, they don't know about all these things. They don't know about this act. They don't know about crypto, nothing.
That's why we're here. So here Super Grok continued. The ABA have lobbied aggressively, warning of risks to economic growth, local lending, financial stability. View it as unfair competition. I view it as we just broke the monopoly because the banking system's evil. It is oppressive. It's slavery.
Not evil. Look at back. What I just said. It's not evil. It's a lobby.
Yeah, look, dude,
when you hear the word, if you have no idea about what's going on in the banking systems and you hear these words, that's why they paint it like that. That's what I don't like. Lobbies.
So they're saying it's unfair competition. Basically what they're saying is, if you do this, we're out of business. And I say
that sounds more like the mafia. Lobby.
Yeah, but listen, they say you do this, we're out of business, and I say, thank God. This is why blockchain came to existence. This is why Bitcoin came in, to destroy this nonsense. It's slavery, man. This borrowing and debt, and it's unbelievable, man. I really, really like this. Now, I had a question here, because one of the things, let me preface it. One of the things, because we're checking the markets out, and because we're swing traders who occasionally scalp, but the geopolitical aspect of the markets is very, very important. So one of the questions I had was, Trump gave Iran 48 hours, right? Everything sold. Then right before the deadline, he says, hey, we're having good talks with them. I'm going to hold it off for 5 more days. markets rebound, right? That's what we're seeing now. Gold's up, Bitcoin's up, everything rebounds. Now, here's the question I have. His demand said, we demand that Iran opens the Strait of Hormuz. Several questions. One, if you have destroyed Iran's navy, if you've destroyed them, as Trump is saying, and I'm a Trump fan, right? But if it is the way he's saying it, why are we asking Iran to open anything? It should be opened, correct? One. Two, who's he negotiating with? If they destroyed the top 3 levels of all leadership, who's he talking to? Like, is it some janitor, some guy who's like mopping the floor? He's walking by, the telephone rings. Hello? And this is Donald Trump. Open up the strait. Okay. But apparently Iran responds. I want to show you this because I was like, who's Trump talking to? And if you wipe them out, what is the problem?
Didn't they say that the Supreme Leader's son is not showing up because, you know?
Here, watch. Trump, publicly saying very good, productive conversations. Top, most respected Iranian figures. Okay, but it's not who they're saying is in charge. So now,
you know that they're not saying that. You know, and I'm sorry, I don't want to sound bad, but you know that they're not saying the son because there's a lot of speculations that his son was not the person that he wanted to be the next leader because he never married, because apparently he's not into women. So that might be the person who's running the thing right now. He's just not saying it out loud because it will cause a lot of shit over there because they're very, you know, they're Muslim republic. In their world, it cannot be that is the leader, someone who's not in their world.
Okay, so here's what I want to show is, so Trump is saying, I threatened them, I gave them 48 hours. Okay, so the first question is, but I thought you owned the sea, you destroyed their navy, like how is it possible you don't own the strait, right? You own the air, like how is that possible? My other question is, are they still launching missiles? But let's not get into that. So I said, well, who's he talking to? So he said, we had a very good, productive conversation. So now Iran says this, they contacted Iran. Hey, how are the conversations going? They're saying it's fake news. He says, saying Trump is negotiating with Iran's military has mocked the situation, saying Trump is negotiating with himself. So they're saying he never even negotiated with us. So look here, Iranian officials continue to deny substantive talks are happening, framing Trump's statements as bluffing or market manipulation. U.S. officials described the contacts as preliminary and not yet substantive. So
I believe them.
I do too. I think Trump's like, okay, here's the problem. I'm gonna bomb their energy infrastructure. That, by NATO rules, is a war crime. So he's like, I'm gonna bomb your energy infrastructure. One of his people say, hey, that's a war crime. We can't do that. Just kidding. We're in good talks. I'm going to postpone in 5 days. Who are you talking to? Even Iran doesn't even know what he's talking about. So I think he's got a problem here.
Yeah.
He's got a problem.
I think we got a problem.
We got a problem. We have a big problem. And this is what's causing the markets to go crazy. And they open in 3 minutes. Let's get right into it and take a look. What's going on? Like and subscribe, by the way. So
Stock
here's
market
Bitcoin.
yesterday also.
Let me open this up. So I want to, here is the channels we've been playing with. We said
still chopping sideways, huh?
Yeah, so we had said, this is the channel it's in. We said if it wicks like this, the pattern is it's going to go down. It's going to break all this. It's probably going to go to 55. Now, how long will it take to play out? I don't know, but I saw something interesting here, and that's this.
Oh. Anyone who's new to our community is like, I've heard everywhere the Bitcoin is going down. This guy's saying Bitcoin is going up.
No, I'm not.
I'm
saying it's going down, but I think in the short term,
there's a bear flag. Yeah.
You have a potential. Well, that's exactly what this is. This is a giant bear flag. Look, here's the pole. Here's a flag, right? So our other signal was it pops out here and then it comes down. So it could theoretically in April, it could come up here to this level here, right?
Yep.
But at the end of the day, this thing is coming down. And the charts don't lie. It's the same pattern over and over. Look how long this one played out. Let's go weeks. How long did this one take out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. About 11 weeks.
How many weeks are we in now?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 2, 3 more weeks it could take to play out.
3 weeks. Yep. Sounds good.
But that's where it's going. The pattern is the same over and over. This is a bear flag. I would say in the short term, meaning like this week, I'm very bullish. I think it's going to try to come up here again and grab something. Also because of this channel here that I see. If I bring this thing, sorry, this isn't catching right now. If I bring it down here, if I can grab it.
Yeah.
So it has potentials to come all the way up here for playing out 2 weeks, right? Then you're looking at it potentially hitting 80,000, right? At some point, it's breaking down, and that's the play out. So short term, I'm bullish just because of what Trump is saying. And you're seeing the same thing happen here on gold. If I can get in here, one moment.
Gold is climbing back up.
So here's
gold.
gold.
Sell, closed it right.
By the way, here's the trade we called 43 right here. This is the trade we called. Here's the line. We said, not this red one, this green one. We said, get gold here. This is our buy signal.
Yeah.
Look historically. Look at
it did drop down. So if you're going too much leverage, you might have clipped out. But I took that sell all the way down, and I took a buy all the way up.
Yeah, so, for me, this is like a nice spot hold. This is a nice level. It can pop up. Again, up to 48, perhaps realistically 46 for sure. But at the end of the day, we're going to go probably under 4,000. That's where this is headed. So let's take a look at Bitcoin on the 1 minute, how it's moving right now. Yeah, here is that pump. It could be a fake out. Remember, this wick usually gets to get filled 50%. If we do that, we know it's going to come up to 71, 850 potentially for sure today. This is the 1 minute candle. Right, so big wicks like this get filled 50% of the time. So we're waiting for that to play out. Here we are in the hour.
Let's take a long then. You think it's going to go up? You can take a buy on it.
I'm not doing that. For me, I'm waiting for Bitcoin to bottom out. I want Bitcoin to bottom out, and I'm going to put in, at some point, I'm going to put in a long order leveraged at 39,000. I'll start buying 55,000 all the way down to 40 with just a crazy like leverage position at 39,000 if we wick down there. And I think we hit that sometime at the end of October, like my son was saying. Drew's been taking exams. That's why he hasn't been with us. He's been taking all these math exams for school. He hasn't been around. He's been studying. Even though
he's preparing CryptoCrush 2.0 for the next generation. So, ladies and gentlemen, this doesn't end up with us just, okay? Your next generation is going to be financially educated with us as well.
Oh, but hey, to be honest,
Judah's gonna run the show.
No, but all my children, I educate all my kids on crypto, on finances. Rihanna's
so
kids,
they get that Jewish spice, right?
Rihanna's kids also, like everyone in the crypto mom, with the crypto mom
group. This is a beautiful
that's
community.
The other thing.
We're gonna do an after class, after school, after school. Something run by Judah, another 2 hours or 3 hours a week where they do training on next generation.
We actually did that. We did it with university students, so high school students. So from 16 till about 23, and we would come together. We would eat some food, and we would trade in my building there in the city. But what happens is, they get overly excited and it turns into like a DJ event, right? Which is not what you want to do, because successful traders are boring. Right. So the impression, I didn't like it. I decided to pull that back. But everyone in our community, whether they're, by the way, in our WhatsApp, we've broken up the community into crypto babes, into people into Veltrixa, into trading, into staking, into mining, into arbitrage. So you could just click the links. Liana did that. But everyone we train, we really teach to train our children early on how to invest, how to multiply, which is biblical, and how to steward what God's given you. And that's not just money, it's how to steward your relationships, how to steward your home, your animals, right? How to steward everything that you're in charge of, all the people that you have influence over. How do you manage that? And how are you representing yourself? So that's very important. And that's why, friends, this journal is so critical. This journal will really help you hone in. And what I love about this community is you come in because, let's face it, you want to get rich, right? You want to make money. That's the truth. But you leave with a whole character makeover, right? You learn discipline.
I've seen so many communities out there, and I can tell you that many times the problem is that they're working too much, they're dealing too much with the things that are not there, the things that are not real. Just like you said, you want to place a trade right now? You said, I know. And me and you are very, very busy in the last few days with the whole new system that we're bringing into our community. So if you're not yet part of that, make sure to tune into that. But because we're bringing in that system, so right now, we don't want to shift our focus on day trading with 300x leverage, because our attention is right now to our community with this new system. So we still understand that the markets are there and we need to make money and we want to make money. And at this point, we already know how to do this automatically, God bless. But we know that crypto is going to go down. So why would I want to stress myself right now on leverage tradings when I have so many systems that I need to get ready for the community, where I know that Bitcoin is going to bottom out at 55. So I don't need to go over risky and leverage right now. Let's wait for it to drop down a little bit if it takes a month and a half, and then start buying into it gradually, dollar cost averaging. We talk about these things in our course as well. That's a very great strategy.
Exactly. And you're going to learn that you come in for the money, but you're going to learn real fast that it's not about the money. It's about you. It's about your character, your flaws, right? And it's about lifestyle primarily. Like, I made a choice many years ago. I was the president of this film company with an office in Amsterdam, in London, in Geneva, and in Atlanta. And I came home one night, I sat in a chair, and we lived on the beach like you do now. I was looking over the water, right? The lights, the boats are clinging, you know, like because the sailboats are like ding, 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 ding. And I'm drinking a scotch. My wife was sitting next to me. She says, "Hey, we got to get ready for Judah's party." I'm like, "Oh, Judah's party? When? It's in 2 weeks." "Oh, okay." He's like, "And we got to figure out what school he's going to." I'm like, "School? We don't have to worry about that till he's 5. She said, "Yeah, that's in 2 weeks." Bro, 6 months later, I was out of that place. I resigned. I gave him 6 months because I was like, what the hell just happened to 5 years? I was flying all over the world. I mean, literally flying all over the world.
Yeah.
They flew me I was flying in a private jet. The last time I was in a private airplane, we almost crashed and died going from Newark to Atlanta. Long story. And I realized all of that shit is not worth anything if I am not there for my children, having a relationship with my son. And I will tell you, 12 years later, right? Because he was 5, he's 17 now, almost 13 years later, I do not regret it 1 second. I may have missed out on making a boatload of money. I may have missed out on just seeing craziness and meeting some extraordinary people. It is not worth giving up that relationship that I have with my children. And that's going to affect their children and my grandchildren. And I know I can change things generationally by changing myself. So I'm not interested in day trading, being glued to the screen. I live on a farm. I have woods. I got these motorbikes. Like, I want to have fun with my kids. I want to be with them. I want to spend time with my wife. I want to enjoy my life. I want to give of myself, and that's what this allows us to do. So choosing not to trade is still a good trade. Why? Because you didn't lose any money. You didn't lose any money.
And the first rule about trading is
don't lose money.
Yeah.
That's also the second rule.
Yeah.
The first rule, the second rule is just as important as the first rule. Don't lose any money. So when you're not trading, you don't lose any money.
And hey, we have our system that made money for us today as well. We're going to talk about it tomorrow. Yeah, but
yeah,
we didn't lose any money live trading today. We made some money with our automated systems, and we have a plan for the bottom out for the dollar cost average, which we discussed all these things about dollar cost averaging and strategies of how to move your liquidity on our course that will be launched very soon. So you can take a look, take the time out, and just educate yourself and learn how to do what we're doing, even if you don't like the day trade. Don't get us wrong, we love day trading. We love day trading. But at this point,
not at the expense of family and peace, and rest and all that. It's not worth it. And tomorrow, listen, this is very important. Tomorrow, Thursday, we're going to show you how over the last week, we've made 69% on autopilot using arbitrage. We're going to show you how we, as CryptoCrush, put a position in and it made 69% 7 days later with an arbitrage program. We have transaction IDs, we have proof that it came in, proof it came out, we have proof of the spreads. We're going to show you everything. Bring your hardest questions.
Please do.
Hey, come tomorrow and prove me wrong that what I'm showing is bullshit. Because I'm telling you, it's not. And we're going to show you the real deal. We always do the real deal here. Live trades or no trades, right? No demo accounts with us, right? This is how we are hardcore. This is how we go, right? This is.
If you're a demo, you can go to somewhere else. Go to some other flashy community with rented cars and rented.
Yeah, all that nonsense.
And rented skyscrapers. Go over there. We don't have all these rented stuff. We own them.
Exactly. Like, I don't need to rent a mansion and a Ferrari for people to know I'm good. I have people that follow me for 20 years already. They know I'm good. Tomorrow, I'm showing you how in the last week, we as CryptoCrush made 69%. What does that mean? We went from $12,667 to $21,460 in 1 week.
I'm bugging him with questions because I can't believe how this technology is so impressive, but it is. It's someone who's a crazy technology geek who loves money as well and loves to see the integration between them, how you can use technology to win battles in this financial realm.
No, but like, why would you trade? Why would I trade at this point? Like, trading is something like, I'm gonna go play golf. I'm gonna go play some tennis with some friends. You do it as like because you like doing it.
That's
a form of making money. Why would you do that?
When you get to the point where you're trading because of what you just said right now, that's when you know that you're good. You are really good. You're really good.
Y'all don't want to miss tomorrow. You do not want to miss tomorrow because we're going to show you. It's on the blockchain, right? It is.
Yeah.
It is there permanently. My deposit of $12,667 and the balance of $21,460. That is what I'm looking at my paper here as I wrote it down. It is legit. It is real. It is on the transaction IDs. You can even click the links yourself. We'll drop them tomorrow so you can check it out yourself. Just so you know, not a fugazi, it's real. Very safe. We love this program. We think we have a window of opportunity, not because there's something wrong with the program, but because we know the banking industry doesn't like this stuff. And the governments, as soon as they find out people are making money, right, the regulation comes in. So
it's not that they don't want it to happen. They love it.
Yeah, but they need to
make sure they got their cut.
Yeah, I need my 50%, right? And they want to know, so they're going to want to KYC the whole thing. So we have a window of opportunity.
The technology companies need to get their cut too. Cybersecurity, man.
The story about how we got into this position is a God story, because the guy that texted me, I haven't spoken to in years. And Amir and I were neck deep in trying to fit, like, with cable wires, pulling stuff. How do we do this and how do we do that? And then he texted me, hey, and he said, I got the solution. He doesn't even know we're working on a problem. And wow.
Well, we asked for it, we asked for it. He gave it to us. It's that
Yeah,
easy.
I'm asking, you shall receive. Keep on knocking. I just read that verse today, by the way.
Yo, bro, when you check my Instagram, man. Anyone who's following me, check my Instagram. That's been my like 10 years now, 5 years. That's my status there. That's it.
All right, friends, I'm not trading. I'm waiting for everything to come back down. We're gonna start accumulating our positions in arbitrage, mining, AI trading, staking. We're going to keep accumulating these positions so that when Bitcoin bottoms out, we are there and grabbing it all up. And that's it. Be safe. God bless you. Click the like, subscribe. That's how you stay connected with us. And don't miss tomorrow. Don't miss tomorrow. 69% in 1 week. We're going to show you all the receipts to prove it. All the receipts. It's going to blow your mind. All the haters, please come. Everyone who thinks it's nonsense, who's hating on us, y'all know who you are. Don't make me read your texts or your emails to me. I will. I'll do it in public. Just come on. Be a man.
That would be cool.
Right, be a man.
But after, there should be a nice whiskey bottle sent, or a nice gift, or a nice live vacation, some kind of compensation for making me feel so bad for sharing this wonderful opportunity with you.
I'll take I'm sorry, you were right. If I can get you to say that.
We're humble. We'll get that. We'll take that.
No, but you know what? They'll give up a $100 whiskey bottle before they'll say that. Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying that. But hey, tomorrow we're going to show you. We're going to bring the receipts. You can't deny it. We ask you to come. Prove me wrong. Prove me and Amir wrong. Blow holes in what we've got. We dare you. We'll give you everything that we're showing. We'll give you links to. Check it out yourself. We'll see you tomorrow. Don't miss it. God bless.